I'm Chris.
And I'm Chris.
And this is
Mike Fight. Let's get it on.
Episode 23, talking today about Giuliani. Chris, what do we got with a good old former New York mayor, who I'm going to have a little bias. I'm going to say this. I'm a little biased against Giuliani. Not against him, for him. I played baseball with his son when I was in grade school. So, and there was this one time where I was helping Andrew, and he wound up getting a base hit, actually a double. And ever since then, all the Secret Service agents or the secret agents, his entourage there, his security, they got me water whenever I wanted. They got me bottled water, so it is a big deal, especially when you're like, 7th grade, 8th grade. That's a big deal, man.
Now, was it?
It was bottled water.
Was it water from the fountain?
No, it was bottled water.
But are we talking like Poland Spring or Fiji?
Yeah, it was Poland Spring.
It was in a glass bottle.
No glass bottle. Poland Spring. So, and then the Mr. Mayor Giuliani, he came to like pretty much all the games. If it wasn't him, it was Andrew's mother who came. Andrew's mother, which is Donna Hanover, I believe. So it was very interesting. I'm going to say I like the mayor. All right, I like Rudy. I also like the movie Rudy, so therefore, maybe it's a little biased that way, But something recently just happened to him. Yeah. Right? What happened, Chris?
Well, according to the FBI, the most dangerous person in the world right now that they should be focusing their efforts on is Rudy Giuliani.
Say it ain't so.
Right? A senior citizen, former mayor, a lawyer, right?
Who was he? Who was one of his clients just recently? Pretty big name guy.
I think that would be Donald Trump.
Orange Man.
Right? The Orange Man bad.
Orange Man bad.
Yeah. So this guy, right? Former prosecutor, took down the mob, used to be the mayor, became a big-time lawyer for the President of the United States, right? This guy now, according to the FBI, is the most dangerous person in the world. So much so that they had to get a SWAT team to kick his door down at 6 a.m. And what were they looking for? Electronic devices.
Is that what the warrant said?
Yeah. All electronic devices.
Electronic devices.
Right?
So that means, now, Chris, you're in law enforcement. Electronic device. Does that mean my cell phones?
Yes.
Does that mean my laptop computers?
Yes.
Does that mean my desktop computers?
Yes.
Does that mean like a pager, if anybody has a pager these days? But does that, the pager?
Pager would be included.
Okay. What other electronic devices would you be looking for?
Hard drives. Right?
Hard drives. I didn't even think of that one. Hard drive.
Yeah.
What about so does that mean like like a router, like an internet router and stuff? Does that count?
No, I don't think they would need to get a router, no.
Okay.
But they would probably take anything that would have any type of information on it.
Like a storage, any type of storage.
Yeah, which is why hard drives would be a big thing, because most people of his importance would most likely have his stuff backed up.
Backed up, right.
So you're going to need a bunch of hard drives to back up your stuff.
Right, so hard drives, cell phones,
yeah.
Computers, whether they be maybe iPads, tablets.
Yeah. Those
things of like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the whole idea is when you take a warrant out, a warrant is going to be for electronic devices, okay? It's not going to say some. It's not going to say...
So it wouldn't specify only cell phones?
No. Now, all right, I'm going to backtrack on that. It depends. Now, if you're looking for something that's specifically for a cell phone, like cell phone records, okay, yes.
Fair enough.
But I mean, if you're looking for files, okay, like anything that this guy was into, according to them, that had to do with the president, communications with the president, any documents that he had uploaded, anything and everything that you would put onto a computer.
Okay, so in this instance, they would not just warrant for the phones. They would warrant for all electronic devices because they want to cover the broad base of things.
Yes. And according to himself, the warrant was was specifically for all electronic devices. Okay, because when you taking out a warrant, you know what's in the apartment for the most part, but you can't. You're not going to sit there and guess and say we're only going to take a couple of things. If you're looking for electronic devices and you get a warrant to search an apartment or a house, then that warrant's going to give you basically permission by law to go in there and take any electronic devices that you find.
Okay, that makes
Because
sense.
any of them can have whatever information it is that you're looking for.
Right, and
Okay.
if you find it in one, then you may find it in others, and it just helps
Right.
and builds your case.
Plus, you don't know how much he's got. You know, he might have 6 computers, he might have 12. So you're not going to say in a warrant and go, all right, well, we're going to give you a warrant to get 6 electronic devices, and then you get into the apartment, and the guy's got 40.
Okay.
Then
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
We're
I-
going
and
to
I
pick
know-
and choose
and-
which 6?
And,
No,
yeah,
that's not how it works.
I can understand that because I know I was just involved in a grand jury of for 6 months. Oh my god! But some of these drug dealers, this one drug dealer had 25 freaking cell phones in his house. Every single one of them are his. 25 freaking cell phones. So when they went in there for the warrant, obviously it covered a whole lot of things, and electronic devices was one of them. Every single one of those freaking cell phones they found were all his.
Yeah.
25 of them.
And they're not going to leave them behind. They're not going to take 10 of them
They
and leave
did.
15.
Guess what? They took every single one of them.
Right. Now, why is that significant? Because they came in and they took all his electronic devices, and when they found a couple of hard drives on his desk that they didn't recognize, they asked him what those hard drives were. The agents.
Wait a minute. The agents. So instead of, wait a minute, that they didn't recognize.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying again, backtracking to what you said, that if they happen to find more than what they suspect is in there, they just take those anyway.
Yeah.
So in this instance, now they're asking him.
Right. It's almost as if they knew exactly what they went in to get. Because if you're going to scoop up a bunch of computers and hard drives, you're just going to take everything you find. But according to him, they went in, and when it came to these specific hard drives, they left them. And he grabbed them, brought it to them, and said, hey, you're not going to take these? And their answer was, well, what are those? And Giuliani told them they were Hunter Biden's hard drives. And they said, no. We don't want those. And Giuliani said to him, they're electronic devices. They're part of the warrant. You're here to take all of them, not some of them, not half of them, not ones that you pick and choose. You're here for electronic devices. These are part of them. Are you sure? You should be taking these too. And they adamantly were very against taking those laptops. And in the end, ran out of there, left those behind because they wanted nothing to do with them.
Very, very interesting.
And see, I used to believe that the FBI is a very powerful organization. It's the most powerful law enforcement organization in the world, right? So cops make mistakes all the time. You can get arrested, you can get pulled over, you can be given a ticket, whatever. And sometimes it's a mistake and they find it to be. And you end up being exonerated, right? You get acquitted. Sometimes you spend time in jail and then evidence comes up that you were innocent. You get released. You fight a ticket in court. Judge figures out that you were in a violation of something and you win. But the whole idea was if the feds were knocking on your door, you were guilty. No questions asked. If they're knocking on your door, that means they have something on you. And there's no way you're either going to be making a deal or they're going to try to get to somebody else through you. Like that's your only options with that. If they were the ones knocking on your door, it was it. It was a wrap. You weren't getting out of that. So that's where some people who say the fact that the feds raided Giuliani's apartment, they definitely have something on him. But over the past 4 or 5 years, what we've seen from the FBI now, between the illegal spying on the Trump team, the illegality of the Michael Flynn case that sent him to jail.
That's just atrocity.
Right. Everything that happened with Carter Page and the FBI lawyer that was, found to be changing emails and, formal documents to let them go after him. Everything I've seen with Jim Comey not going after Hillary Clinton for what she did with her email scandal leads me now to not trust the FBI as much and to see that it is now becoming just another politicized arm of the government where they're now going after not people that they should be going after, but political opponents of the people in charge.
I think it's. I unfortunately believe that it's become more of that. More of that. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that the FBI has never been that way. I mean, Hoover used the FBI in bad ways right from the very beginning. I mean, it was. Let's put it this way: the FBI was created, I believe, wasn't it under FDR? Like when they made like a a certain entity to create, wasn't it under wasn't it FDR? Because I think they wanted to go. When was the era of Bonnie and Clyde? And I know I'm going way off topic here, but I think, and if I'm not mistaken, it was created in a sense back then to stop those types of people like Dillinger, Bonnie and Clyde, Capone, right? Yeah. To go after these individuals. They didn't quite use the law against Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
They used the bullet. Bonnie and Clyde died because they were shot like 800 times. So I'm not going to say that they were never utilized as a political weapon, but it's different now.
Yeah.
They obviously, Hoover again was spying heavily on Martin Luther King. Heavily on Martin Luther King, trying to get whatever he could. Again, not the greatest times for the FBI. So I would say this. I'm not necessarily surprised that they're being utilized. It's whomever's in power that wields it, in my opinion. I don't think that they do things on their own 100%. I think it is under the auspice of someone directing them to do things. So in this instance, I feel that Sleepy Joe was not necessarily asleep with this one. I think he knew damn well what was going on, even though when he was asked pretty much directly whether he had any idea of the Giuliani raid, he said, I had no idea. I have told that I don't want to know. I've been told I want that separation. I don't want to know. I trust the FBI to do their job. Yeah, you trust them to do their job because you directed it, in my opinion. You didn't maybe directly say, go raid Giuliani. But you gave certain directives that hinted, in my opinion, I have no evidence of this, that basically spelled it out. Go get them.
Yeah, well, what they do is they put people in positions of these organizations that they know will do their bidding for them. That's what it comes down to. So you see that Joe Biden, when he came into office, he put people that were involved in the whole Russian collusion hoax that went on, everything that happened with Carter Page, Michael Flynn, the lawyers that were involved. He put all these people in positions within his cabinet, some of them going to the DOJ, the FBI, the CIA. And you put these people into those places. Why? Because you're rewarding them for doing what you did. Because for 4 years, they went after Trump. They failed miserably. So you think if you failed at a job, No,
it's the government.
Right.
It's the government.
I mean, that's what they do best.
Fail and fail and fail.
Right.
Our answer is throw more money at it.
Right, and get promotions. And so
that's what they do in the mail office, by the way. Did you know that?
No.
So if you are incompetent and can't deliver the mail appropriately, they promote you so that you're no longer delivering the mail inappropriately. They don't fire you. They promote you to get you off the field and into a desk position so that the mail doesn't get screwed up anymore. government job for you.
Good incentive to just suck at delivering the mail.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so that's what I think is what's going on. Is there's people within the DOJ that are just all part of this swamp of people that Trump was trying so hard to get rid of, but they're so deeply embedded.
Oh man, and it brought he did clear it. He did clear it out as best as he could. I felt that he was obviously right. He's going to get pushback. He's going to get blocked. He's going to get only so far. But I mean, it is now overflowing. I mean, forget about being full. It is now gushing with this deep stated individuals and entities that are just, in my opinion, I don't know. I really, they all want, it all surrounds, it comes around to power. Chris, it's all about power, man.
Yeah, of course it is. And to keep that power, you got to silence as many of your opponents as you can, because freedom, free speech is being attacked right now. We all know that, especially if you're a conservative, you're being shut down left and right all over the place. There's YouTube channels being shut down. There's people with podcasts being shut down. You got everybody that worked for Trump, one way or another, either got investigated or is now having a hard time finding a job because it's on their resume that they worked for the Trump team. So now you get Giuliani, who is the former president's lawyer, who is now being raided by the FBI. Why? Because he is in the middle of investigating not just his alleged election fraud, but his son, Hunter Biden. Another person who's being investigated by the FBI is John Solomon. They're the two people at the top of the list. John Solomon is an independent reporter who basically broke open the whole Russian collusion hoax,
right,
and really exposed them for what they were doing. Now he's knee deep in this whole Biden story as well, and he's uncovering so much shit on him. And of course, none of the mainstream reports on it because they don't want you to know about it. So now they're getting so close to exposing his son, and in the process is going to end up exposing him, that they're the two people right now at the FBI feel they need to be going after.
It's just wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, if people would just tell the truth.
They don't have a crime. They haven't accused Giuliani
I was about to
or
say,
Solomon of a crime. So the fact that you have a warrant and you're going after him, you're looking for a crime. You're going backwards in an investigation, right? So typically you get evidence of a crime and then you investigate it, and in the process, when you have enough of it, you get that warrant, you go in there, you seize whatever you need to seize to prove your case. This time they're just going in with the warrant to gather up all this evidence, looking for something to charge him with.
Backwards. That's, to me, not how, I mean, you're in law enforcement. You just flat out said that's not how you do things.
No, not at all.
So
not at all.
I don't know where I don't know what they've got on Giuliani. I think he did great for the city. Yeah. I mean, you could probably speak to that a little bit even better than I can, as far as how the city is. I used to live in the city. We're in Queens. But my wife, we're not going to Manhattan anytime soon. We're not. I used to take the train. I used to love taking the train into Manhattan and going into Times Square and, hanging out and going to restaurants. And I, for one, was very fond of Broadway. I cannot go on the subway anymore. I cannot take a regular train.
Yeah. Well, when you have 4-year-olds being shot in the middle of Times Square in broad daylight, who would want to go to Times Square?
I can't in good conscience go there.
No, I don't blame you. It's not a safe place. Every day you can open up the paper or turn on the news and see another, not even story, you can see multiple stories of violence in this city and homelessness and drugs and, I mean, anything you could think of. And it's just there, and it's growing at a rapid rate. And again, you could just tell by the census that they just released that New York lost, one seat?
One seat.
Why? Because even more New Yorkers in the past 10 years have decided to leave this state.
Yep.
The population has shrunk that much that they lost a seat.
Yep. California lost too.
Yeah. Surprise. What do they have in
Texas
common?
and Florida gained.
Yeah, exactly. And that tells you everything you need to know. The policies don't work here. So,
That's what it is. And I'll just say one more thing. Again, I don't know what's up with Mayor Giuliani. I happen to think he's a very upstanding gentleman. I think he tells the truth. I think he's honest. Do I think he's perfect? Absolutely not. Do I know everything about him? Hell no. I don't know everything about him. I can only tell you what my feeling is about him from what I've seen, from what I've experienced with him, what his results were when he was the mayor of the city. I can tell you I never felt more safe going into the city. I can tell you my father never felt more safe being in the city. Even during Bloomberg took a lot of the policies that were set by Giuliani and continued them. So the safetiness continued. And it, again, I probably have a bias because he was the mayor while I was growing up and going into Manhattan and so on and so forth. And again, the same thing with Bloomberg continuing his policies. I think that the FBI is not being utilized in the right way here. And I think it is being utilized as a political weapon to a certain extent. I hate to put things like that out there because I don't have evidence. This is just a feeling, and it's a completely subjective feeling. It is what my opinion is. But I'm a little worried.
yeah.
A little worried.
Well, I mean, I read this stuff all day, and I'm based on everything I've seen and read and how much that they were involved in it. And it's about political damage because they are terrified of 2022 and 2024. And so you silence the former president of the United States completely, take him off every public platform, and you continue to, go after him in the media where he can't defend himself anymore. And now, just like during his presidency, you send FBI to go after people that were associated with him, people that were close to his campaign, people that were friends with him, reporters that supported him and uncovered the wrongs that were being done against him. And it is to create as much political damage as they can to limit his chances of winning or getting another following come 2024. That's what this is about. Because look at what a disaster this presidency is right now. 4 months in, and this guy has completely derailed this country to a point where it's going to take a miracle to get it back on track. So to help divert attention from the fucking train wreck that's going on right now is you do something like this, right? Go after Giuliani. You put it all over every paper, every news station. FBI raided his apartment at 5 a.m. He's a Russian agent. Again, they're going back with the Russian story again. And it's to divert the attention away from everything that's going on right now in the country. And that's what I think it is. It's to create as much political damage as you can for 2024.
All right. Enough on that. With that, we're out. I'm Chris.
And I'm Chris. And this is where we drop the mic.